I don't care what you say. It's true. I sleep with my phone, hoping she'll call or text. I watch the video she made over and over. Why would someone hurt my beautiful, brave girl? I just want her back. That was a quote from Lisa Woods, the mother of 17-year-old Nikki Kunhausen, who went missing back in June of 2019. They would find her body, unfortunately, a few months later in December. And that's what we're going to talk about today.
Today, a jury found a Clark County man guilty of murdering a transgender teen. 27-year-old David Bogdanov met Nikki Kunhausen on a dating app in 2019. The two were having sexual contact in the backseat of Bogdanov's car when he found out Nikki was transgender. Bogdanov testified that he pushed Kuhnhausen away and that she reached for his gun near the driver's seat. He argued that he strangled Kuhnhausen with a cell phone charger in self-defense. Bogdanov later dumped Kuhnhausen's body on Larch Mountain.
The jury did find that she was killed. She was killed intentionally, and she was killed because she was trans. So hopefully that brings some measure of peace to the community, although it doesn't heal the wound and it doesn't bring her back.
The jury found Bogdanov guilty of second-degree murder and malicious harassment, which is a hate crime in Washington. His sentencing is set for September 9th.
So, who is the monster that did this to poor young Nikki? Well, we're going to read about him right now. This is from the Columbian. It's an article from September 2021. David Bogdanov was sentenced Thursday to 19.5 years in prison in the murder of Nikki Kunhausen, a 17-year-old transgender teenager who went missing in 2019. Her body was later found on Lark Mountain. In August, this is 2021, a Clark County Superior Court found Bogdanov, 27 years old, of Vancouver, guilty of second-degree murder and malicious harassment, now legally called a hate crime offense in Washington in Kuhnhausen's death. Good. It is a hate crime. I don't care. There's no other way to spin it. It's a hate crime. His sentence was at the top of the range for the two crimes. 234 months for second-degree murder. That's ridiculous. And 12 months for malicious harassment to run concurrently. Before announcing the sentence, Judge David Gregerson became emotional as he spoke about the way Bogdanov strangled Kuhnhausen with a phone charger cord and then dumped her body on Lark Mountain. He said he was, quote, struck by the darkness in this case, unquote. That's so horrible. Okay. Quote, everyone in this courtroom has been 17 at some point in their lives, unquote, Gregerson said. Quote, she could have been anyone's son or daughter, unquote. And I just want to say, I really, really appreciate the fact that they are not referring to Nikki as a him. The judge, I really, really applaud and appreciate that. That's wonderful, and it's as wonderful as something can be in this horrible situation. Anyways, Kuhnhausen's mother, Lisa Woods, I know somebody named Lisa Woods. I'm sorry. Kuhnhausen's mother, Lisa Woods, asked the judge for the maximum sentence allowed, as she held a stuffed animal that Kuhnhausen used to sleep with. Defense attorney Matthew Hoff requested a low-end sentence of 11 years, noting that Bogdanov had no prior criminal history. So what? Bogdanov claimed self-defense during the trial. Okay. He testified that when he pushed Kuhnhausen away and yelled at her to get out of his car, she lunged for a loaded gun he had near the driver's seat. Bogdanov said he wrapped a phone charger around her shoulders to pull her away, but the cord slipped up around her neck. Even if he's telling the truth. After Kuhnhausen's death, Bogdanov dumped her body down the hillside of Lark Mountain, booked a one-way flight to Ukraine, and called a friend to, quote, get rid of his car. According to trial testimony, he returned to the U.S. about 6 weeks later. Scum. Hoff told the judge they've already filed paperwork to appeal the conviction and sentence. Sorry, I can't talk. The prosecution argued throughout the trial that Bogdanov strangled Kuhnhausen because she was transgender. On Thursday, Senior Deputy Prosecutor Colin Hayes said Bogdanov has yet to take accountability for killing Kuhnhausen and has shown no remorse. Of course not. In explaining his sentencing decision, Gregerson, the judge, noted there was an element of predation in the case because Kuhnhausen was 17 and Bogdanov was 25 at the time. Bogdanov also admitted during the trial to giving Kuhnhausen alcohol. Stand up, guy. The judge also pointed to testimony that Bogdanov dumped Kuhnhausen's body, left the country, and lied to police during the 6 months she was considered missing. He said Bogdanov, quote, prolonged the suffering and agony of the family and the community, unquote. Outside of the courtroom, Woods, her mom, said that she feels blessed, quote, blessed, and that the judge honored Kuhnhausen's life. Woods held a photo of Kuhnhausen at 3 years old wearing a tiara. Oh my goodness. I gotta put a cut in. So I'm gonna read this article from Fox25.com. Memorial held Sunday for murdered transgender teen Nikki Kunhausen. March 1st, 2020. Friends and family of Nikki Kunhausen gathered Sunday evening for a memorial in her honor. Investigators say they believe Kuhnhausen, a 17-year-old transgender woman, was murdered when she went missing back in early June 2019. Her body was found in December, we know that. A Vancouver man has been charged with second-degree murder and malicious harassment, which is a hate crime in Washington. Again, good. Authorities say the Vancouver teenager was strangled after her assailant learned she was transgender. Last week, lawmakers in Washington state passed a measure prohibiting homicide defendants from claiming a defense that panic brought on by a victim's sexual orientation or gender identity. That was a stupid thing to begin with. The whole trans panic deal. Yeah, come on. That should have never held water with any court. Or really? Friends and family remembered Nikki as kind, generous, and full of happiness. This is a quote. When I was about 7, she was stuck babysitting me, and we had to clean up the kitchen. And when it was time to mop, we used too much water. The whole floor was covered in soap and water. So she told me to go put my bathing suit on, and we used the kitchen as a slip and slide until our parents got home, recalled one of her siblings. Oh my lord. Nikki's mother, Lisa Kuhnhausen Woods, says she cannot yet accept that her daughter is gone. I imagine so. She says she still refers to her in the present tense. At the memorial, she read from a letter Nikki wrote to her. Oh God, here we go. Quote, to the best and most beautiful mommy ever, the letter began. Quote, always remember not to be scared and to have confidence no matter what. Do it for me, please. There is nothing to stress about because you know I am safe and I will be back sooner than you think. I will never leave you. Unquote. Kuhnhausen Woods read. I think you say Woods. Alright, hold it together, Trish. It is not clear when the letter was written. In the program distributed at the memorial, family said Nikki enjoyed running track in elementary school. She was passionate about music and loved Lady Gaga. Naturally, who doesn't? She aspired to be a makeup artist.
Dan, Jennifer, it is standing room only in that sanctuary. In fact, people are spilling out into the lobby. That is how packed it is. These people came out not only to support Nikki Kunhausen's family, but to also support the transgender community. This service started out with some acoustic music, and then speakers took to the stage, advocates for the LGBTQ community, saying that there is still a need to eliminate violence and discrimination against the community. Nikki Kunhausen's family took some time to speak to the media before this service started. They said they never gave up hope, and they want people to know about what kind of person she was before she was taken from this earth too soon.
People have been awesome with their, putting out flyers and all the work. A lot of people did a lot of hard work, trying to bring her home.
Nikki went missing in June. Her body was found earlier this month. According to court documents, the man suspected of killing her, 25-year-old David Bogdanov. He admitted he was out with the victim the night she went missing and said that he was, quote, disturbed when he found out that Nikki was biologically male. Now, the president for the National Women's Coalition Against Violence and Exploitation spoke. She said that 2020 will be Nikki's year, the year that they advocate for tougher hate laws, advocate for Nikki's law. Live tonight, Vancouver, Jenny Young, Coin 6 News.
Guys, this is the point in the video where I'm going to light a virtual candle for TikTok star and makeup artist Nikki Kunhausen, the 17-year-old who was taken from us way too soon. And I'm also lighting this for all the other trans women and trans men out there who were killed just for being themselves. Nikki was a beautiful, beautiful, gorgeous young trans woman, and my heart goes out to her family and friends and everybody involved, the detectives, everybody in this case, the judge. My heart just goes out to you guys, and I really appreciate the respect that has been given to Nikki after her death, in referring to her as the she, like she was. So that's going to do it for this episode, guys. Please, let's be kind to each other and appreciate that, we're all in this world together, and we're all different in different ways. If we were all the same, what kind of life would that be? And whether people like it or not, there are people like us out there that are transgender, and it does happen, but it's okay though. There's no reason to hate. I don't get it. But guys, until next time, goodbye.